by me. It's so fun to be in person.
I know, this is way better.
Like the back in the days.
I know.
Yeah. We'll take what we can get, though. We'll take what we can get. I just realized our names are on, I should be sitting
like this.
Yeah, I should
I'm
be
not
sitting.
Susan.
This is Shiloh.
We didn't plan that.
Yeah, I didn't look down. But no, yeah, Shiloh's out here. My daughter's wedding is this week, but we still have time to jump on for this lovely Memory Lane Monday. And with Memory Lane Monday, we always like to just take a peek at, of course, some finished pages. We like to spotlight a different designer, and then of course Shiloh actually didn't know this until
I showed up
Friday.
By the way,
yeah, I was like, "You're up on the deck."
Okay.
Well, because my daughter was like working with the designers, and I said Shiloh's going to be here. We'll just spotlight some of her finished layouts, which I have always enjoyed her finished layouts. So, yeah. So this Memory Lane, it's all about pulling inspiration from completed layouts and revisiting them with a fresh idea and with fresh eyes. And so each month, like I said, we like to highlight just 5 or so scrapbooking pages from different designers. And Shiloh, if you guys don't know, because I know that we have a lot of new customers in our community and other places, like Shiloh, by the way, she's my sister-in-law. Yeah. She's a co-founder as well, and she helps design products behind the scenes. And so you don't get to see her face as much, but you do get to see some of her pages exclusively in the Kiwi Club PDF. Specifically is where a lot of her pages are shown these days. Yeah. And she has a beautiful style. And so let's get to it. Let's revisit some of those and and just be inspired by those. Let me think. We're also going to be talking about some fun tips. I'm looking down for a moment, so stick around. She's got this fun, very basic.
It's super basic. I was telling Susan, I'm like, I think my style is like really basic.
Well, I always explain simple and cute. It's so interesting though when we talk about styles. We'll just stay there for a moment because I think it's so fun to kind of help describe and also just kind of own your style. And sometimes you can have moods and days where you maybe like do something a little bit more detailed than other ones. But for the most part, often you find this kind of flow of your go-to types of designs that seem to be like, okay, I really enjoy this part of the process.
Right.
And so for you, it was like photos.
For me, it is photos. I'm always looking at like how to get more pictures on my page, or I don't know. I take a lot of pictures and I'm always looking at them, and I hate to not have things on there. So I'll be looking through. I'm like, well, I have to get all of these photos on there. So I'm always looking for ways to do that, but still make it pretty. So I guess I call myself basic because I'm like, I'm not doing all the fancy this and that, because details. The pictures, all the like extra details. I love my white pen. We all know that.
Yeah, she does love her white pen.
But I keep things, I guess, in my head kind of basic. And like it's a basic formula. Clean. It's usually all about the pictures. And I try to balance my colors and patterns and keep things kind of clean and simple. And that is my go-to. I love to do something kind of fun, like Susan was talking about on occasion, where it's, a little outside of my norm. But you're going to see some of my more normal, like I guess basic layout.
So if that speaks to you, stick around because we have some great designs to share with you in this lovely scrapbooking layout share today. Kathy says we have gotten used to Kiwi Lane basic, but in the scrapbooking world as a whole, Kiwi Lane is not basic. This is true.
I guess that's true.
But I think, well, let's just jump into it. Your layouts. We'll talk more about that as we get going because along that, it's so funny how words mean different to people, different things. Right. But here's one of Shiloh's layouts first up. Talk to us about what you loved about this layout, because again, with the designers, we just have them choose a handful of layouts they want to share, which is kind of hard, right?
It was actually really hard because she didn't give me any warning. So this morning I'm like, what's some layouts I might like to share?
I'm shy. Pick any of them. They're all great.
I finally handed them to her. I'm like, what do you think? No, there's so many layouts I love, and
it's hard to choose a favorite.
Really hard to choose. So these are some that I love.
About photos.
Yes.
We decided to focus on photos, which I think is fun.
As we were discussing, earlier today, just kind of our styles a little bit, we really realized as I'm talking about it, like I really do focus a lot on my pictures when I am scrapbooking. So we decided to show a few layouts that kind of highlight
what scrapbooking is, but yes, it's what inspires you the most in your layouts. Yeah.
So I love this layout. And the reason why I picked this one is, again, it's kind of a simple, basic formula. I feel like, nothing wild on the borders or anything.
On the techniques is what you're talking about.
Right.
It's your paper, your layers,
yes.
a border, and your photos standing stage, which is true Kiwi style, really.
It is. And I guess I am kind of just old school Kiwi. But I chose this one because I love the way the pictures stand out in this page. And I love it because, I chose to design it this way because I really wanted to put focus on the sequence of the pictures. I love laying them out this way sometimes because it kind of tells a story.
Like a series, like you said.
In a series. And so a lot of times I'll do this where I add this, I allow the pictures to really stand out. And then I just decorate the little empty spaces that are left. And so this one always speaks to me because it was a really fun moment of my family when we decided to take pictures on a beach at sunset.
Like perfect timing. Yeah.
It was so fun. And it is a special memory. And we had such a great time and everybody got into it. And I just love the progression in the story of these photos, which is why I decided to lay them out the way that I did.
A photo lineup. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it's really great when you have like multiple pictures that are telling the story in like consecutive order. So it's a great way to highlight.
And from a Kiwi-fi, like really moments like this, you just need a simple border across the top to keep the flow of the eye visual appeal going.
Right.
And then of course, just your balancing of your two little groupings there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the photos is being focused on here. Yeah, there's star for sure. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. The next layout here on this one, she has, let me see. We'll pull it up.
I can't even remember what
there
we
go.
Oh, that's right. This one's a fun one. So this is just my family out on our little farm, I guess. We have a couple of acres in Idaho and we took some pictures. And when this kit came out, I was really excited because I had obviously perfect pictures for this. And again, I wanted it to be the start. And I'm always looking for, again, different ways to add a lot of photos in. And so on this one, I did a little bit more blocking style where I went ahead and figured out where my photos were going to go, all the ones that were important to me. And then I just decorated the empty spaces that were left.
Yeah, because for me, when I looked at it, because you got a photo lineup, like left and right.
Which is pretty normal.
But the stacking of the one photo, I just think that sometimes helps to have a visual reference for some type of layout and how that works. But I think you're right. Once you stacked that one photo on top of the other one on the left, it created this little box.
It did. It immediately gave me an empty space right there where I was like, okay, I need something here. And it worked for me to create a little scene that, went with my pictures.
Yeah.
And so never be afraid to kind of play with the way you place your photos.
Yeah.
And it is fun to stack them, even if you're doing a series like I did there, put another one on top and just create a fun little spot. Because if this were a different layout, it could have been an adorable place to do like a little
even Christmas or Halloween scenery or stuff. Exactly.
Yeah, you could do it with so many things. And of course, being able to tuck extra photos in with some of those accessories like I did on the right, with some journaling, like, tuck them in and don't be afraid to fill it up a little bit,
I almost missed that on the right because you did right next to the journaling. She did a little 3x4 there too. So a great little tuck in next to your accessory.
Yeah. I actually love to do that. I very often will tuck photos in with them.
With your accessories.
Yeah. Another way to get more pictures on the page.
Tuck, layer. We love loving those words. Tuck and layer, guys. Yeah. Okay, so this was great.
Yeah, this one's actually from an older kit, and I do enjoy this layout. I'm like, it's kind of old, but it was a fun one. Again, a really great memory, and why we chose this one is, again, just adding those photos in. It's so important to make sure you're bringing in everything that tells the story of that memory. And so this one was a fun one. I love to use like placemat.
Did you see that last image? The last image. Awesome. You want to add that one to it? Because on this layout, she actually does a photo flap since we're talking about photos. There you go.
Okay, you can see it. So on that layout at the top, you'll see this one. And I love to add these because I don't like to throw away the pictures, especially if it's one that I still really want in the memory. And so I will do these little photo flaps, they're on quite a lot of my layouts. I
Yeah.
don't always show them because
We show
I'm
them
like,
in
oh,
the.
they've already seen that before.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, you said it was one of your go-tos.
It is a go-to
and,
for me.
I thought, why not? Let's take a moment. We're going to come back to some of these layouts. And Jamie, I see your question there. We'll come back to that here in a moment too. Let's do an over the head, and we're just going to share with you how she does these photo flaps. It's very inexpensive. You don't need any special tools, or again, not heavy technique. It's not a heavy technique.
Pretty basic. Again.
So we'll show that here for a moment.
Well, I'm going to show you just a couple different ways that I do it. The first time that I did this, I went really, really simple. And all that I did was I cut out a strip of just some random, usually I use the pattern paper, some little piece of the kit paper that's left
Scraps.
over.
Yep.
Perfect for that. And I just cut a little strip, and it can be bigger, it can be small. And then all you're going to do is fold it in half, just like that, and then crease it. And all you've got to do to make that is you're going to attach one of the flaps. Now I can't even open it.
Here we go.
So you're going to add adhesive to one side like this. And then you're just going to line it up with the edge of your picture, usually just slightly down so you don't see the paper on the front side, just slightly
Peeking
down.
over the side, yeah.
And then you're going to have this little flap here. Now, if it were on a layout, I'm just going to use this for an example.
Yeah.
You would take, if you're just doing two, you would take your second photo and you would adhere these two backs down on the paper so it flaps. Okay. And then you hide, I just realized I can't really see that. Okay. So you adhere these two tabs down where you want them. And then you would take your extra photo and you lay it just over the top and adhere it down. And this creates your flap. So that's like the most basic way to do it. One tip that I will give you is that I like to cut the back photos down I shave it just a little bit, because sometimes with the thickness of the tab, you'll get just a little edge of that photo showing at the bottom. So I usually shave that down just a tiny bit. Now you can do it really simple and just have this. Sometimes I'll decorate or add extra photos right here as well.
On the back side. Yeah.
Or you can add extras and just adhere like another series.
Repeat.
And you would just move it over. And then again, add another photo in, and we'll just kind of stagger these little flaps. And this allows me to do several in a series.
Got it.
So some of them I'll have 3 or 4 photos that I'll do in a little flap. And then what I do is I'll just find like a cute little template shape that can create like a little tab. And then I attach it just to the underside of the photo. And this allows me a place to lift. So you can see in that one, I have those little arrow tabs. Yeah. And I'll usually say like lift or something on it. So they realize it's a place to be able to understand that there's more photos below it. So you can see right here, there's 3 tabs. So that means I have 3 different flips on that one.
And I think a lot of times people will ask, because like Simple Stories has their photo flaps. I think Creative Memories has a version, and those are all great.
They're awesome.
You could purchase those, but I think that Shiloh just is showing like a DIY. Well, it's more just sometimes you run out of those, that you don't have them handy. And so it's amazing what scraps can kind of help you to add more pictures. I mean, I love to use those 6x12 photo page protectors in between is another option to adding more photos. So in this case, do you always, I'm assuming you always try to leave it to the top of your page?
I do. I usually, very often I'll put it to the top, but if I don't, either you just let them slide it out so they can see the rest.
Slide the page out of the page protector.
You can cut a slit on your page protector so that it also will flap, which is the other. This is again a DIY thing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have special tools to create this. Again, the little photo flap things are so great when you have them, but most of the time I'm just like, oh, I want to add this and I don't have that stuff. So this is what I do. But I like it. And there's a couple of other options. And
it's better than throwing the extras even when into a box. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're looking at options here, it's like you still get your visual design, because sometimes with those extras, they're maybe not the ones that you want to spotlight.
They're not the major, right? Yeah. But they're still a fun one that contributes to the memory. Yeah. And that is it for me too, is I always put the ones that I love the most out in front, but ones that I'm like, no, I want to remember that.
Yeah. You printed it already or whatever the reason.
then I'll tuck it in this way so that I get the full version of it when I want to take the time to look at that.
It doesn't take up more real estate space or anything
Which
like that. Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah, it's really easy and it's a great technique. And let's face it, guys, like you all have paper, right? You all have paper. It's got some paper.
It's a great way.
Here's another way of version doing it.
Real quick, I'll show you a couple other things that I've experimented over the years. So this is what I started with. This is my go-to easy option. But a couple of other fun things that you can do is this type of flap where if you have a little bit more paper, you can cut it down to the size of the photo that you want and make a little flap, just kind of a longer one like this.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the same idea as when you go to adhere it for this one. This is if I want to decorate it, I'm bringing in like patterned paper.
Right.
Then I would do this one. I would adhere this down as my flap. I put my photo over it, and then I could adhere more pictures on top of this one.
Oh, like with a little cute something right there.
Yep. It could still be a full if you want, but you could also decorate it or you could stack photos. But then what happens is when you open it, you have this space for as just a cute pattern. You can journal or you can decorate this inside flap. It's really fun when you want to add like a more decorative way of doing it. Sometimes I do the other one. I'm like, I just want to add pictures. Yeah. If I want it to be like pretty, then I might choose to do it this way.
If you want to hide journaling, like maybe it's longer, but it's more like handwritten and you're just like, oh, it's pulling away.
Right. Yep. I do that a lot. And then same thing along the decorative edges. If you have a lot of pattern paper left, you can do like a full style instead of the tabs. This works if you're only doing one flap. It's a little bit harder once you start adding more. It gets really chunky.
Thicker,
these are better if you're doing several in a series.
Makes sense.
These are great if you're just doing a few, but you can do the same thing because then when you flip, you'll have this like cute place to journal or pretty paper.
Cute piece of work, a word or something.
And so it's just a little more decorative, but it's just a little bit more poofy. So these are like better for keeping it way more flat.
How many pictures have you done this way?
Oh, I think my top one, I did probably 6 flaps in a series. But some of those I added pictures here. Like I've done quite a few. I should go back and just take pictures of all the times I've used
I know.
One other thing I'm going to show you, and this is kind of
it's fun
small.
to kind of see like what people's go-tos. Like I said, mine is like the 6x12, but this is Shiloh's go-to for adding more photos to her layout. No, I think it's fun.
I think it's really fun. So I don't have any of my layouts with me, or I'd show you this in person.
Yeah, because she flew here.
I didn't know I was doing this. So one other thing I'll show you, this is just another thing that I've done on a layout before. So when you're doing a photo set in series like this, say you've got, they're all stacked like this. Sometimes I'll make one of these long flaps, just like the other, as like a decorative border. And I will actually flap the entire series. So on one of my layouts I have at home, it's done the same way, but instead you would layer all your photos on this and connect so that you can open it up and then you have 6 more spaces for pictures.
That's fun, guys.
And it's really awesome. So I love to do that one when I'm doing like travel pages or things like that, where I have tons of pictures and you want to use them. So you'll see me do a lot of those larger flap things. Yeah. And that can be done like this. It could even just be done on a few, or even like a cute bracket or something that.
But I do think it's key to kind of put, like you said, those arrows or those tabs, like maybe something that says like flip here. So it creates this engagement on your layout. Now, again, though, I think this is so common because whenever you do these and you're going to put in the page protector, I think sometimes we're hesitant of it, but for the most part, it's your family, your friends going through your album. And I think it's easy enough to pull it out. So if you don't have page protectors, you don't have the flip flap page protectors or whatever, I guarantee you have paper, right? You have paper. So.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great way to do it. And it really just isn't a big deal for like something like this. If you don't want to cut your page protector, to just pop it out, just like you would like a journaling card. That
like slide it in, slide it back out.
Idea.
Yeah.
So I see Deborah mentions the waterfalls thing. So I love that. So that reminds me of sometimes, you can make these hidden where they lay on top of each other. But there are times where I will purposefully make them offset a little bit, or I'll add a decorative edge with like a mini border
Yeah.
or a card border.
I did that with a Disney page, and I did little brackets at the bottom
Mhm.
so that it like created this like cute waterfall
Right.
edging.
Yep,
Mhm.
and then it'll create a really pretty waterfall edging. I prefer with a waterfall to decorate the bottom.
Mhm.
I think it's cuter that way when it's done that way, where you have, but you would just keep lengthening it so you
Mhm.
can see each tab, and then right there you could write something about lifting if you wanted to
Yeah,
as well.
you can get creative that way
Yeah.
too.
But it's a really fun way to add that more waterfall effect, because then on a page you could do something where they just keep descending for a minute,
Yeah,
and even maybe finish it off with like a bracket where you could journal or
Absolutely.
something. It would be, I have done it.
so
I
you get
just-
creative with
you
how
know.
you elevate and simplify. So you could do just
Right.
a photo flap, like she was
Mhm.
sharing you, or you can adjust it to be more of a photo waterfall, where
Right.
you actually bring in the waterfall design approach to the bottoms too. Yeah,
Right.
super cute.
Anyway.
Yes.
Oh,
It's actually
time.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anthony's in the chat.
Oh, Anthony,
Oh.
These are
Anthony.
these pictures right here. So.
Some guy-o.
Uh,
Some guy.
yeah, thanks for letting us use these.
Yeah, some guy. There's Anthony in the picture.
I love it.
He's the model for today's episode, guys.
Yeah.
No, this is
Right.
this is Anthony right here, my daughter. They're getting married, so they're heavily on our mind. So I pulled out these pictures. She said, "I need pictures." I said, "Here are some pictures."
Yes. They
There
were
we go.
Perfect models.
They are
today.
the models for this week.
Should we go quickly back to the
Yeah,
barn
let's go
one?
back to the barn one.
Question.
Jamie's question, right?
Okay.
She said, "How do you get the orientation of the paper to work?" Oh, well, in your case, you just let it be sideways. This is
This one's definitely a sideways. Most of the time I just allow it. If it is very particular in this case,
Yeah.
I will say I did fussy cut this one. And it was just because I wanted the barns to be a certain way.
when she
for
says fussy
this.
cut, guys, she's just
Means
tracing.
I traced each piece separate on separate sides just a little bit, or flip it.
She didn't take advantage of the AB.
I didn't.
She traced each border out
On its
sewn.
Yeah.
And what you did here, because if you do that, you don't lose the 12-inch. So you
Mhm.
must have, you would have lost the 12-inch
Uh-huh.
here.
Yeah, no, in fact,
You would have had to hide this.
I did.
She hid
This is good. So
yeah.
this is why
Yeah.
I decorated that way. So thank you for
Yep.
mentioning it. With this particular thing, because of that, I did do one direction, and then I flipped it because I wanted the barns to be a certain way. And so I just made the top and a little piece at the bottom, and then hid the middle with
Yeah.
my decorations. It was important to me for this particular layout. I don't normally make that effort. I'll just let it be sideways.
It's funny how sometimes it turns out, because like on the zoo one, go back to the zoo one.
Exactly.
Gosh, I feel like I have to give a visual aid to that comment because I know some
Yeah.
people might get lost. And
So
we're just
like
gonna
on this
take-
one, it didn't bother me that they were sideways. It just, it felt fine. I think it was maybe because it was a building, the barns, like it just felt,
Like they need to be facing the
yeah.
right way.
Yeah. And for my pictures for that layout, I needed the border to be there. And so that's what I did to make that
Okay,
border
here we
work.
go. I found
Okay.
a piece of paper. I was like, oh my goodness.
I can explain
You
this
think,
a little bit.
You think all of all this paper, I would find one so quickly. So when you have a one directional pattern
You want to flip to the
overhead,
Back to the barn or down low?
down overhead so we can
Yeah.
they can understand what we're doing.
one directional pattern. So when you have this one directional, meaning right now these ornaments are all going one way, right?
So if you're doing that and you trace it and cut it out right here, so you can see that I don't have a full 12-inch anymore to come and get this piece. Let me lift that up a little bit so you can see it better. So what I did was I cut this piece out like Susan's showing.
Well, so that's what she meant when she cut them out separate. So for
Yep.
the sake of everyone, if you're new to Accumulate,
Can I help?
the borders are designed with an AB. So you have this AB approach. So if I wanted them to go one direction, I would design my layout with this paper in mind. We're just going to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
I mean, I guess that's going to take away from your other sample, huh? So then you would do a straight cut here,
You
and
don't
then you cut it
actually-
once up the center, and that one cut would give you two pieces. This one could go this direction, and this could go this direction, and your patterns would be the right way.
Mhm.
If you want it to go sideways, like in Shiloh's, what she did, instead of cutting the one down the middle, she traced this one out, cut it out on its own, but then on the second one,
I just came in and I traced this smaller portion. So there's two ways you like, this is probably the easiest way. I'm not going to complicate it. So you would just come in and trace it here and cut out this smaller portion. But in order to go the full 12 inch, like we were here, I took that shorter portion and I cut. I know we don't have any like scissors with us.
Well,
so once this was cut, well, you can do that and we'll show them with that, I guess.
Well, this would be sideways. Your sideways one, right?
Not with the pattern. But
so used to having it out of the
idea.
Yeah,
they'll get the idea.
One. Okay.
So if you had this one like this, yes.
Go ahead and you can trace this one out.
And just trace it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going into a full demo mode.
This is a problem about these lives. I always am like, let's
David's like, keep it on time. They don't like it when we go over. And I'm like, let's just show them the speed version.
Y'all's information is always so interesting.
So you'd normally do a straight cut there with the trimmer, so you don't have like a weird little edge. But
there it is. I'm like, where did it go? All right. So she's then changed her paper formation. So a little bit more. Well, only really one more cut. So
it's not that crazy. So you would do a straight cut on that one so it matches the edges of the border. Okay.
There you go.
So then at this point, I've got this piece. So if I wanted to go a full 12 inches, then what I did is I went through and I just sliced it a little bit. So take a few inches off that. Do you have anything to...
Adhesive?
Well, it's mainly just to show like how you would like hide it.
Mm-hmm.
So then if you were doing that and you wanted to do it, you could then pull those apart so you still get that illusion of the full border, but then you can decorate that space in between.
Yeah, you could put a little cute thing there. Yeah.
So that's the basic idea of how I did that.
So
Thanks
definitely
for bringing that up. I kind of forgot that's what I did until I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. But it's a good thing when it comes to pattern paper to be attentive to the orientation of your paper. And also, again, a designer's preference. And I think you mentioned it. Like sometimes I'm okay with the patterns like the zoo one going like it would have been sideways, right? If not, then you'll want to make sure as you play to create to do a top bottom with one-sided paper, one directional paper orientation. Sometimes papers, they already rotate all around. And we try that really hard to to make sure that you just kind of, but some patterns just don't.
Some patterns, it doesn't work.
They need to be one directional.
And when it is, I do what Susan said, and I try to pay attention to that. I always look at my main pattern. I'm like, okay, is there a direction issue I need to think about while I'm designing? And then if it just doesn't work like it did in that particular one, because my photos needed to be a certain way. And that just was the way that it worked best for my picture.
But it's interesting because that's creativity in of itself. Like right away, that little pivot makes you look at this a little different. And then instantly you're inspired with your photos in a different manner. And I think, again, that just adds to your approach,
right? Like
how you are always looking at your photos saying like, how can I position these? How can I display them in a creative way or in a functional way too? Yeah.
That really is like my biggest goal when I sit down to scrapbook. I mean, I want it to be pretty because, that's fun.
It is fun. It's always fun. It's so enjoyable. So enjoyable.
Yeah.
But here's the beauty of this. And I will just say, like, for the play to create process, like you do not have to sacrifice beauty for simple.
I know.
And you can, you don't have to sacrifice simple all the time for a more advanced technical too. So that's why I love this event specifically, just highlighting everyone's different styles, but also bring to the surface that each of us are utilizing similar tools and different styles yet, right? Like there's still different styles to be found inside of the same method that helps you to hopefully, not stare at an empty page forever. So
I know it's a help for me.
Yeah, I know it's helped me. Shiloh used to be like 3 days.
That person.
Yeah, 3 days staring at an empty page.
It's so much better now.
Yeah, so much better now.
James says thank you for explaining.
You bet.
Thank you.
Yep.
You also said this would work great for paper
with text. Yes.
Yes.
So again,
exactly.
similar to fashion. So when you're looking at, like you mentioned it, the main pattern, and this is something we talk about often from like having that main pattern, what you're planning on using in mind when you sit down to design is helpful because it will also guide your designing approach in a way. Same thing with photos. Knowing how many photos you want to fit on your page will help guide your design as well. And you just kind of let it flow and evolve. And that's the beauty of being able to play before you start cutting into something too.
It honestly is important. And since we're talking about that really quick, I mean, I feel like this is a no-brainer, but maybe that's just me. But when I start a layout, because photos are like my main focus and I tend to take a lot, I always pull them out and I lay them out. And I'm sure Susan probably has already showed you guys this, and you probably all do it. But before I start designing, I will take all my different sizes of my photo templates and I lay them on my pictures. And I check everything, and then I just kind of lay them out and I lay my stuff, and then I just start playing. And I always starts with my photo. Like I'll pull out my borders and my photos, but I kind of work with them in tandem until I make sure that my photos, the ones that are important to me, are on the page. And then from there, I start making it pretty.
And sometimes it's like instant, like you place them down and it's like fits in the pockets of everything so beautifully. Actually, the last PJ play date we did for Kiwi Clubs, it was late. It was a Saturday. We were rushing, and usually we do it on Fridays. Saturday was a little bit more brain power. I was like, oh my gosh, Saturdays are a little bit more because you're rushing. Although Fridays, every day feels that way. But point being is that I could feel more of the heavy lifting, but it worked out. I was like, it became one of my favorite pages, but I had to just sit with the photos for another 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Meaning play with the photos for 10 more minutes. And sometimes it takes that before you move on past the photo arrangement spot. It's just taking another few more minutes just to kind of push and move and like work around them,
It really is. When you think about what pictures you want on, how your borders need to be placed, a lot of times thinking about your pattern paper, that main pattern you want to start with, that really helps solidify the direction.
And in this Azoo page, you also notice that she used a photo placemat. So before I forget, because I know I want to mention this, we are actually doing 30% off of photo placemats since we're showcasing just the beauty of different arrangements of photos. Photo placements was a great option for helping you to really kind of get a cute factor to your photos, like in a simple way, giving you another easy and creative solution for that perfect photo placement option. So if you don't have the photo placements or you're needing the photo placements, use the coupon code placemat30. Okay. We're going to send an email out about this. So if you guys are on the email list too, but I figured I would go ahead and mention it here in this live as well.
It is a fun way to add extra pictures, and it's nice because you can play with different sizes and it's still a little bit decorative, which is always fun.
Yeah. This is actually one of this one's super fun on the down view here, Dave. On this
coupon code placemat30.
Yep, placemat30. Yep.
So like that.
Yep, placemat30.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. That was just one of the placemats that I pulled out, but there are so many. Oh, actually, here's all the rest of them. If you guys aren't familiar with these guys,
fun.
Yeah,
I actually love this one. This one's fun because it really gives you like an idea really quick, plus a unique size that don't come in the regular photo sets to help crop things down. Yeah, that's I love that one.
But it also creates this window that you could actually get creative with how you
is really cute. And then this one layers really good with borders too.
Yes,
it's really pretty. I mean,
look how fast that was. Boom.
Like
this is the beauty of the placemat. So that's why I wanted to mention it specifically for this event. And then in celebration of just Shiloh's layouts and just have fun being here. Why not give a great deal?
Yeah, they really are fun.
Yeah, that one's another great one.
This one I almost highlighted one with this one in it because it's
because
so
you could do a flap with this too. You could.
I have done flaps with this.
Yeah,
and it works. It works really, really well. You cut this as your base. You decorate and stuff, and you just put this still underneath like that. and then you can flap, and you can do multiples and use these tabs to keep adding tabs down this side with
Just
that.
trace and cut that portion out.
Yep. So then if you do that and you want another flap, then you can put another one and then add some more little tabs and cupids.
Yeah.
But I have done it with
This is my go-to. I will say placemat number 4.
love
I
this
probably
one.
way overuse it versus the other. Well,
yeah.
and
I don't know.
one.
This one's
Yeah,
pretty
number 1 is too.
high level too. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really use this one a lot.
So there's these 4 placemats. If you guys don't have them, take advantage of it as we celebrate and just be inspired by Shiloh's style and Shiloh's pages. This is a little gift, you guys. So use the coupon. It's good for the next 2 days. So through the 23rd of July. All right. And we will send out an email and stuff too, but you guys are the first to know. I'm glad I didn't forget. I almost forgot. And I was like, no, wait, we got to show the placemats.
I mean,
So-
clarification,
it sounds
is
always nice.
Is it placemat or placemats with an S? Placemat.
It's placemat.
With
Sorry,
an S.
no
Okay,
S.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
good thing you asked.
Placemat.
Yeah,
But
perfect.
I guess at checkout, you could try both if you need to. Yeah. Placemat, no S.
Okay.
Okay. And then let's take a quick look at a few of Shiloh's last pages here. I know we've cut you guys for a little bit, but I want to share these because they're so cute.
This is actually really is one of my very favorite layouts, and I love it because I was able to get so many pictures on this one, but it still feels like fun and decorative, but there's really not all that much going on outside of the pictures. But
You know, I will say, I don't think you see often the 4x6s being tucked in like kind of like a zigzag kind of like a way, I guess.
I
you know.
wanted it to have a sense of movement because the kids, you know, this was our kids
Yep.
at the lake
Yep.
one summer, and they just got it in their head that they wanted to jump off the dock. And so it was a series. So when you look at it, and I wanted that sense of movement, but it's again a series. It's like the start of the jump, partway through the jump, and into the splash.
Just snap, snap.
And so
Yeah.
I'm like, all of these were like ones that I kind of wanted to go, you know, in a lineup. So it gave that sense of the story.
Yeah.
But I love this memory. I love how it
was a
turned
great trip.
out. It
Yeah.
was so fun.
It was
What
I wanted for birthday.
I know.
It was what I wanted
remember.
for birthday. I said, I want to go camping for my birthday. Shiloh, are you coming?
Yeah. And we were there, and it was just a perfect summer moment. I feel like
It was a really great
So
summer moment.
I just-
Simple, carefree. Can't get better than that.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a good reminder too, just now that summer's in play, to really just hit that snap
get
button.
those series. It's
Yeah.
really fun to
It's so
see
fun.
the moment playing out sometimes in moments like
Yeah.
this where you see it and all of a sudden you're like put right back into that memory of
Absolutely.
that moment, seeing it happen. I
And
love it.
joining them in that jump,
Yeah.
right? From start to finish, joining them in
Yeah.
that jump. Okay,
It's
so
fun.
fun. I love that layout. And I will say I love, again, talking about photos. We talked about the right side, but the left side creating this like kind of title around a few, right?
Mhm.
And then going into the series is what you really did there
Right.
too.
I know. I'm like,
And you
trying to
just
count
can
how many-
never go wrong with that. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Wow.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
could have easily put another one
And I could
with a
have,
title,
and
but
that's what's
it's
great
just
is like,
fitting those little embellishing spots
yeah,
into
because you still want it to have those little pretty things. That
vibe,
kind of,
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I always want at least some of that, but I don't know. I love this layout.
Yeah.
I love the way it came together.
This next one is really fun too. You can
Yeah.
tell. So
Again, love all the pictures. Oh, I love that. Sorry, I was just reading.
yeah, you can
Lisa's
capture
comment.
series pictures from a video. You
Yeah,
can.
that's a great.
Okay, and if you
thought
guys
there.
don't know this tip, okay, boy,
Yeah.
we're just like tip
tips
central, guys.
all over the place today.
If you are on camera mode, okay, so let's go down view, Dave. On this, if you're taking a video, and this Samsung does this too, right?
Right.
You can take a video, and
Or
then this
take
little
pictures
white
while you're doing
button
it,
right
yeah.
here in the right corner will allow you just do this. You get the video and you get the pictures. Like I'm gonna have so many ridiculous pictures now on my phone, but like
Yeah.
look how so I have the video, right? But I have all those pictures I just took as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep,
Make
you
sure you
can
do
do
both.
that. And then if you forget to do it, then go back. I don't know if
and screenshot. I think that's what Lisa was referring
yeah,
to. Mm-hmm.
because you can go in. I know in mine, I mean, I'm Samsung, she has Apple, so
Mm-hmm.
I never know what phones do what. But you can go in from a video and capture
Yes.
pictures throughout where you're like, oh, I like that, and you can capture too. So it's a great way to get more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Robin says, love your scrapbooking technique and pages. Good.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm trying to get through these
I
like
know.
other layouts
Okay.
of Shiloh's because
We
that's,
keep
you know, the layout.
This is the
share.
bad thing of us being
I
right
know,
here
it
together.
really is. Chatties. Okay, so the cabin one was really cute, and I don't want to miss that one because I feel like, again, it was really cute for the stacking of the pictures.
That's not good.
You definitely had a really cute, the cabin one. Dave, that one's great too. We'll come to that one.
My computer froze up for a minute.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
okay.
The cabin one. Can you go back to there you go.
There we go.
It's running behind, so there's a shot. It might flicker again until we get back.
Okay. No, it's good.
Okay.
So there's the cabin one and
Yeah.
the left side.
The left side, you'll see this is honestly pretty much all pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I wanted to get as many on as I could of our family's little cabin build we did a few summers ago. So I did a lot of photo stacking in this one but I tried to incorporate the title on that side. So it felt like it had something.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll notice a fun technique to do is sometimes when I'm doing a photo series and I'm wanting this kind of more blocky feel where everything's kind of centered.
Yeah.
A lot of times if I have a photo, I'll let it bleed from one page to the next, and you just kind of put it on one side and then slice it in a place where it's not like going down somebody's face or something.
Right.
You know, you've got to be strategic.
Yeah.
And you just slice it down and you leave one part of the photo on one side and one on the other. And it just gives this really seamless effect across your page when you're trying to add in additional photos.
Well, and I think the other thing that adds to what you just were saying about having them be centered is the fact that on the left side, she didn't actually go from edge to edge. She brought in her photos and allowed a breathing border of the blue being wrapped all the way around the whole 2 pages. So you can see on this left, easily she could have just done 3 4x6s and gone straight from edge to edge, but she trimmed those down smaller so that she had blue on top, blue on bottom. And that does create this very much center focus, like you have your photos positioned here on that too. And then of course you did your tuck in here with your little small guy next to your jar embellishment.
Yep.
I loved that kit.
And I honestly think there's might be a photo flap on that one somewhere, but I'd have to go back and look at my layout at home. But yeah, it really was. I wanted more of that collage feel, like Susan was saying, and had that border around. Otherwise, it could feel really messy if you just stack a million pictures together, especially with this one, as the pictures are a little bit busier.
It's just it's a little, again, we're talking very simple approaches in this episode. And I think that's super important just to kind of point out, because sometimes edge to edge works.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes trimming it up. But that's really what's contributing to this. And sometimes we miss those things. And that's why I love this event so much, is it gives us a time to shine a light on finished pages. 1, celebrate those pages, but 2, be inspired by them again. And really having that breathing room adds to what I think is a natural style of yours, where it's clean, it's focused on your pictures, it's simple, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meaning simple in its display, right? It's not blingy, it's not like, detailed in its way, but it has enough layers. Because you definitely love layers and you love patterns.
I love layers and I love patterns and I love decoration. It's not that I don't. It's just that I do give up space for some extra of that to make sure more pictures are on my page.
And that's
which I like. That's because in the end, these are for my family albums. I want all the pictures to be in it. So I always try to make sure I have 1 or 2 spots that I can decorate, but then I let the photos take the rest of the space for the most part. I feel like that's enough. And that's, again, my personal
your style. Yeah.
I love to see what other people do, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. It's so pretty. And you guys do a wonderful job.
I love when I get inspired with something's in my stash. I'm like, I have that in my stash, and I'm kind of more of a, what is it called? Where lizard changes looks.
Oh.
Why am I spacing it out? Chameleon.
Yes,
I'm like, where am I talking about right now? I don't even know.
Yes.
Anyways, cute layout. Okay, so this next one, the travel one. Again, photos being kind of approach. Yeah, and a simple approach here is the strips.
Yeah. This one was really fun, and I still really love this layout. I again, it's a travel. I love to get a lot of pictures on my page when it's travel pictures. And so, yeah, I took advantage of doing some fun little photo strips. And those 3x4 photos, I really did that. And again, decorating around a photo that just kind of tucks to the side is a great way to still add decoration, but still get more pictures on your page. So it doesn't always have to go in like the main.
But see, I
empty
think
space.
what's also great about how you approach adding more photos is that the one of them you were stacking. This one you're kind of dropping to the right, but you're still allowing that breathing room to the left of that. And then that's where you chose, like you said, I always pick one you usually pick two for whatever
I
it's
do.
worth.
It's usually one on one side and one on the other. And then
side.
I try to, because that balances my patterns and colors. So I'm always trying to think, okay, a little something
She's picking
here and a little
two
something to the other
spaces
side.
for her
The main-
groupings and embellishments, and then she really tries the other spots to be mostly photos. And I think it's a routine pattern that I'm seeing.
It totally is. If you look at all of them, you'll
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah, it's like it's a
That's pretty
two
much what I
spot,
do.
and the rest is. And so really, if you're overwhelmed by embellishings or elements, just remember that. Like, you really just need to pick two spots,
Yeah.
one on this page, one on that one, and then kind of start from there. Yeah,
Yep.
super cute. Okay, this next layout, which I think is our last, sadly, but
Yeah, I
none
didn't
of
realize
these.
we had so many.
It's okay. They're all great.
Oh yeah, again, you can see right off the bat, as we were just talking about the two decorative spots, I still did that on this one.
Mm-hmm.
This one's fun. This actually is the kind of style I would use placemats for too. Is this fun idea of having like something that's a little bit bigger that grounds where I'm going to put some photos.
A backdrop behind your photos.
Yeah, it has a little decorative element to it, which you did on the right side. So you can see I did like a little 3 photo series, but again, I was like, I've got more pictures I want to get on this. So I kind of waterfalled a few down from there and then decorated in the empty space that I left behind.
Again, you kind of stacked them and then you did 2 groupings. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fun stacking. I feel like I need to play with that muscle myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can feel awkward with it, but it's just beautifully, it's almost intentional. Well, it is intentionally positioned and it looks great.
Well, it looks awkward until you decorate the space that's left. And I think that's really what it is.
Yeah.
When you start and you've placed your borders and you're putting your photos on, then you might be like, oh, this looks kind of weird. But the second you decorate next to it, then all of a sudden everything fills up. And it looks
that's a good
really
point.
Clean and
Again,
beautiful that way.
While we dissect your style here, I think that's a really good point. That's why it's has its effect that it does, is because you're always creating these little decorative spaces, which most of the time these decorative spaces are full fleshed out layered for whatever it's worth.
Oh yeah, so, I do love layers. I'm not gonna say I don't, but I'm like, I sometimes I see people's pages and it's so pretty and it's got all this stuff and all these layers, but then I'm like, I need like 5 photos on that side and not 2 or 3. And so I this is my way of altering that kind of thing. I love details. I love layers. I love to play with the patterns, but I always do them in little collaging groupings.
And I will say overall, the Play to Create system, when we designed it, like, it was very much wanting to have that balance between your photos, embellishments, but also utilize what your stash has. So like, if you have the bling and you love the bling, like add the bling. Like, you could have done a glitter flower instead, but it's just not your style.
No,
right?
I know. And that's what I realized.
Beautiful.
I look at things and I'm like, that's so beautiful. And I can appreciate it in so many ways. But then when it comes down to it, I'm like, it doesn't always speak to my personal style.
You get as much joy.
You know?
Yeah. We were just talking about how we'd love to decorate all these homes just to kind of experience different styles. Yes. But when you decorate your own, it's not quite the same, right?
It's not. You pick what speaks to you for your own.
Yeah, but how fun it would be to go
But you can admire and have fun doing the others too.
Yeah, exactly. It would be so fun. Yes, so I agree. The eyes go to the pictures and you really want to find this balance. And I think the beauty of the Play to Create system is it helps you frame those pictures in. And of course, the photo templates is your best friend here.
They really are. I use the photo templates on quite literally every layout I ever do.
Absolutely.
It is the first tool that I pull out. Like I said, I always start by figuring out what are the most important pictures to get on my page. Yeah. And that's where my photo templates come in. And I use them all the time, and they are just invaluable. I love them.
Oh, Kathy says a white pen. Have you seen this? Gail is actually the one to thank for that, Kathy. I think she's here on this live. Gail mentioned these in a community, and so I picked them up too. And then I tried them out and I shared them.
Are they great?
Oh my gosh, as a white pen fanatic,
I know.
you'll love them.
You'll see your white pen on
Yeah.
every layout I
Yeah,
do.
she has a white pen. It's
I'll
a
have to give
go-to
them a
tool
try.
for.
Mine are actually just drying out, so I need to buy a new set. So maybe I'll give this a go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still always love the 8 and 10. Do they have 8 and 10s in these?
So no, they have all sizes in there. I'll let you play with them here in a moment. Anyways,
Fine.
all right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us for this memory lane Monday here. It was really fun to see Shiloh's layouts again, and of course, you
Be
could
here.
see more of those inside of Kiwi Clubs. If you're not a member yet, make sure to join us. This is just the tip of the iceberg of inspiration that you can find, but of course, it's amazing. What inspiration you can find from our finished pages. So pull out your own albums, flip through them, see what kind of things that are your go-tos. And sometimes you just gotta own those go-tos,
Right.
you know, you're
Embrace
like,
your own
yeah,
style.
these bring me joy. They make me happy and comfortable with my outcomes and feel confidence with my displays and my creative, decisions and all of that stuff. And then of course, sometimes it's fun to just kind of shake things up every once in a while. So all of the above is awesome. So thanks again, you guys. And of course, until next time, we'll see you guys in the community. Make sure to take advantage of that deal that we have going on and special of today's event in honor of course, even Shiloh and her style and utilizing the photo placemats to help you to add even more beautiful photos to your overall layout that you're creating. And then, of course, ultimately just enjoy the process because it's a wonderful hobby and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, take care. Bye now.
Thanks. Bye.